Welcome to another episode of Mythic Drafting, where today we are drafting another March of the Machine draft. Let's go ahead and see what we open up. We open up a pretty sweet one here with C Double. I'm always happy to see a powerful blue or black rare. In the rare slot, I think they're both the best colours to be in. And this pack I'm particularly happy to see because there's no really strong blue card or black cards other than maybe Vanquish the Weak is fine. And we're passing a lot of like green and red cards, like Tandem Takedown, Sailback, Rouse Reinforcements is good in the Convoke decks. So we're hoping that, by passing these cards, we can effectively cut our opponents off from the really good blue cards and potentially the black cards as well. And I think C Double is just a really strong card. We're definitely going to be looking for some mill effects and some Halo Charge Scarbs here to really take advantage of it. So now I've got an interesting second pack here. Invasion of Theros is the rare, and unfortunately this card just isn't really that playable. It's definitely a cool card, and the backside's pretty cool for an enchantment deck, but it's not really a limited focus card. You could certainly... if you had a Realmbreaker's Grasp or two, this could become like a 5-mana version of those that has like a backside, but that is just not worth the effort needed. So what will we be taking? There's a Phyrexian Gargantua, there's a Tranquil Cove, which I don't mind, and the Grasp itself. If we want to stay blue, we could just take Order of the Mirror, but I think that the power level is significantly lower than the Gargantua, that it's worth dabbling into the second color here. I think the options really are between Grasp, Gargantua, and then like Tranquil Cove is probably next for me over the Order of the Mirror, although maybe I would just take Order of the Mirror. But yeah, happy to pick up a Gargantua here, and we'll certainly lean blue-black, but certainly not locked into anything yet. Furnace Rains is a sweet one here in red, but I'm not particularly keen to dive into a third colour just yet, if possible. And in black, there's Traumatic Revelation, but we're not locked into black yet. There's also a Realmbreaker's Grasp again, but the card I think I'm going to take is Skittering Surveyor. And the reason for this is I think that this card gets played in like most blue-black decks, and gets played in most blue decks and most black decks as well. And it just keeps us open. It's always going to go. It makes your deck a little bit more consistent, and I'm pretty happy to pick one up here over some of the other options. So now we have a choice between the Joyful Storm Sculptor, and then there's also, Glistening Deluge if we're playing best of 3. There's a Cut Short, there's the green-blue land, and also Renata Call to the Hunt is quite good in the green deck, but after this start, I'm not particularly keen on going down that path. The card I think we're going to take is Eyes of Gitaxias. I've been really impressed with this card. It keeps us blue primarily. Like, we've got our C Double, we've taken the Gargantua, but we're still open to anything at this point. And I've really liked playing with Eyes of Gitaxias. If we can pick up some Omen Hawkers as well, it just makes it even better. So now we have pick between Annihilate Essence and Eyes of Gitaxias number 2, I think. Invasion of Lorwyn is like worth a mention as a splash card, but I don't really want to be taking 6 drops to splash at this point when we can just be taking some blue cards. I think Annihilate Essence is going to be the pick over the second Eyes of Gitaxias, especially considering we don't have any 2 drops already. It's early in the draft. We want to be thinking about our curve basically the whole time we're drafting, and I'm very happy to play Annihilate Essence. Now we get a 6th pick Tandem Takedown here. And while green-blue isn't my favorite color pair, I'm not going to miss a Gloomfang Mauler too much. And this card's just very strong. If green's this open, I think it's worth taking a flex pick here over taking the Land Cycler, and we'll go ahead and just pick that one up. But at this point, we're pretty likely to be blue. The question is just going to be, are we going to be blue-green or are we going to be blue-black? And we haven't seen much black, so now we get another signal in an Overgrown Pest, pick 7. There's also Invasion of Muruganda, which I don't really like, but it's certainly a fine card in green, and so the fact that it's also there indicates that maybe green's open. No blue card in the pack, so someone's definitely drafting blue, but that's not surprising given this is pick 7. There's also a Fearless Skald, which is good, but we're not taking another color here. So now we have, I think it's a pretty interesting pick actually between a Halo Charge Scarp and the Jungle Hollow. In your blue, green, and blue-black decks, you pretty much always, it's very often you end up splashing, and so there's a lot of value in taking the land here. But given we have a C double, and an Eyes of Gataxias already and a Tandem Takedown. I want to just take the Scarb now. There's no guarantee that we like get one, and it's worth taking it there, I think, over taking the land, because with C double you can effectively just keep on copying Halo Charge Scarb and keep putting C double on top of your library, and you can just mill your opponent out and get basically a 4/4 every turn. So now we'll just take Disturbing Conversion. I'm not really keen on playing it, but I just want to cut the blue here. So now we have a pick between Chomping Kavu and Converter Beast. And I think we want to just take the Converter Beast here, because blue-green, if we do go down the blue-green route, oh wow. And so we could take Knight of Order of the Mirror, but in our blue-green deck and the blue-black deck, it's not as good, and we'll just go ahead and pick up this land for us here, which is really nice. And we'll pick up a Wary Thespian here over these other cards. But yeah, what I was saying about Converter Beast is that if we can get some Omen Hawkers with Eyes of Gataxias and a lot of Incubate tokens, the Converter Beast becomes a lot stronger. Yeah, so now just picking up some of the last cards. Don't really want to play like Flywheel Racer, but it's just in there. We just keep it there to note that we have it. So now, oh wow, this is a pretty awful pack for us to open up here. So we've got the Pest and the Takedown, and there's Gargantua here as well. But there's just no blue or green card for us in this pack. Like, we could take a Halo Charge Scar, but it's just so much worse than Repurposing or Bloated Processor, that I think we actually just want to take the Processor here over the Merciless Repurposing. It's super unfortunate, but we're not locked into green, certainly. Like, these cards are all fine, but if black is open this pack, like, we might switch into black here. So I think the pick is the Processor over the 6-drop Repurposing. It's great with C double, and yeah, it works well with if we get some Omen Hawkers as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go from here. But we're certainly blue. We're just sort of working out if we're going to be green or black here. And the fact that we've got this Jungle Hollow is really helpful. Now this is a sweet one to open up here. Captive Weird's one of the best blue uncommons. It's a 1-drop for Convoke. You can flip it to get a card and a 3/3 later. It stops early aggression. It does everything you want. Other cards to consider here is Port and Tracker, but yeah, we're certainly not locked into green or black at this point, so we're very happy to be taking a blue card here over everything else. Now again, wow, these packs really not great for us here. You know, there's 4 and a 5-drop in. So 4 and a 5-drop in green, which we're not really interested in. The pick's sort of between, for me, Oracle of Tragedy and Unseal and Necropolis. With a Sack Outlet, Unseal, and Halo Charge Scarb, you actually have like an infinite mill combo, and Oracle of Tragedy is a part of that as well, and that allows you to shuffle your combo pieces back. I think we're going to take the Oracle over the Unseal. It helps our curve. We're definitely blue. We might pick up one of these later, and we've already got the C double as like a infinite, as a combo kill to mill them out. Wow, so now this is an interest. Wow, everything is flying through for us in this pack, because there's a Transcendent Message, which is an awesome card. Really strong. And there's also a Final Flourish. We don't have a ton of ways to like ramp out Convoke stuff. We do have like the Captive Weird Surveyor. This card's just really strong. But I wonder if... I think if we were definitely black, we would take the Flourish here. But given that we're like definitely blue, I think I'm just going to take the Transcendent Message over the Final Flourish. And now, wow, this is a huge signal for us here. So I think we can safely go ahead and cut these green cards here and move in. Because a 5th pick Deadly Derision with an Obosh and an Invasion of Ulgrotha in the pack is a pretty big signal. There's no green cards here either. It's unfortunate we passed the Final Flourish, but yeah, we're really happy to pick up a Derision here. And wow, so now is Kenra Spellspear very late. But I think the pick for us is just going to be the Ica Drinker. It's a 1-drop for Convoke, which is great with Transcendent Message, and there are some other synergies that we have with it, like with the bloated processor. And there's certainly other ones we can pick up. Now there's a Wary Thespian or a Change the Equation. Like, we're not playing Change the Equation. We're not playing Blade Battle Fan in this deck. I think we just take the Thespian like as a flex pick there. I don't really think that's where we want to be, but there is some like tiny remote chance. And now we're going to go ahead and pick up an 8th pick, Vanquish the Week, which we're also pretty happy with. And I think we're just going to pick up a Flitting Gorilla here. It's not like an exciting pick or anything. There is a Furge, a Judge of Valor, which we could take. We only had the Surveyor to fix for it, and we've only got 13 playables, given that we had a couple of green picks. So I'm happy to just take the card that we're happy to play there. It also is worth noting that with the C double Halo Charge Scarb combo, you do want to like potentially build in some redundancy with it. And Flitting Gorilla is a good one because it can get you your Halo Charge Scarb back if you need to. Gonna go ahead and pick up the dual land there, just in case we open something we want to splash in red. And then an Oculus Whelp here. You know, we don't want to play this, but we certainly might if we, have any transform effects or low on playables. And this deck, I actually think Corrupted Conviction is potentially going to be fine. And with an Ica Drinker, an Oracle of Tragedy, Skittering Surveyor, certainly possible that I think we'd be more likely to play that than we would the Oculus Whelp. So now just getting to the dregs of the pack, hoping to open up something sweet here in pack 3. Something sweet we do open. Wow, what a pack here for us. I mean, Vorinclex is an absolutely insane card in green, but Grimgrin Corpseborn is in our colours. It's an absolute bomb. This thing is a 5/5. It enters the battlefield untapped, and then it doesn't untap during an untap step, but you can sack a creature to untap it and put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then when it attacks, you destroy target creature defending player controls, and you put another +1/+1 counter on Grimgrin. So really happy with the Ica Drinker pick there. We're going to be looking to pick up some more cheap creatures, value creatures to play here. Vorinclex is sweet. Like, we would have been great if we were in green, but I don't think we can take it here. We just want to play a pretty focused blue-black deck. And now, I quite like Invasion of Eldraine as a value card here. It's not like the most exciting second pick of all time, but the options here for us are pretty limited other than this. The thing about this card is it can just, if we pick up any Nezumi Informants, which we really want with with Grimgrin and Transcendent Message, going like a Nezumi Informant into a 3-drop into Invasion of Eldraine, you've just wiped 3 cards out of your opponent's hand, and I'm certainly happy to play that over the Oculus Whelp here at this point. Don't think we'll be playing any of our tap lands most likely here unless something absurd gets passed to us, but pretty happy with how this draft went. I think we definitely read the signals in pack 3 that green was open, but then black was just far more open in pack 2. It's possible we shouldn't be blue, but C double and Transcendent Message are great, and also the Captive Weird was a good sign as well. So now pick between Gift of Completion, Dreg Recycler, Vanquish the Weak, and also Halo Charge Scarb and Corrupted Conviction. How many Phyrexians? We have 3 Phyrexians, so Gift of Completion is not that great for us. I think we just want to go ahead and pick up a Vanquish the Weak here. Actually, no. I think Vanquish the Weak's the better card here, but we've just got so few 2-drops that I think we actually want to take the 2-drop here and just lock that in. Wow, so now 4th pick Glistening Dawn. I mean, it's possible we should have just been green-black this draft and read the signals. I think it's just unfortunate. Like, that's potentially an avenue we could have gone down, but getting past the Captive Weird, the Transcendent Message, kind of locked us into blue a little bit. Maybe we put the blinkers on a bit too much and we could have been green-black here, but I'm going to just take another Assimilate Essence here. I don't want to flip again, and Assimilate Essence is a solid card for us. And now we're going to take another Halo Charge Scarb. I think with C double, it's good. We've also got some other powerful ones with Transcendent Message, Deadly Derision that we're going to want to recur. as well as Vanquish the Weak, and Eyes of Gataxis is another good one here. So just going to go ahead and round the deck out with some of those. Our removal at the moment is just a Deadly Derision and a Vanquish. We've got double Assimilate Essence. I think I'm picking between Failed Conversion and Gifted Completion. And I don't love Gift in this deck, but it's just something to do with 2 mana, and I think we're going to go ahead and take it there. So now I've got to pick between Skittering Surveyor and the second Vanquish the Weak. I think this deck probably wants Vanquish a bit more. With the double Essence, with the Transcendent Message, I think like we can play... Oh wow, Inga at 8th pick is a really nice one here. Going to go ahead and get Transcendent Message back. So yeah, we certainly could have had a really nice green-black deck here, or Unseal is an awesome one to wheel on the wheel. Definitely going to go ahead and pick that one up. Yeah, I think we can potentially just cut the... I think we may cut the Corrupted Conviction. Just like we have one Surveyor that's good with it. We have one Ichadrinker, but we've already got the Grimgrin as something we want to be like sacrificing with, and we want our bodies for Convoke anyway, so I don't think Corrupted Conviction is really where we want to be. So yeah, I think this deck turned out fine. I think that there's some... We've certainly got some powerful stuff. It's not the best version of blue-black, but you know, with Transcendent Message, with C double, Halo Charge Scarves to recur our spells, we've got one Deadly Derision, and Grimgrin is certainly a really strong one. So, pretty happy with the deck. I think we definitely want 9 islands in this version, and the Surveyor is going to really pull its weight in terms of being able to fix our double black requirements, and also trying to get us up to quadruple blue here. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see how we do in game 1, and I'll see you there. Alrighty, here we are for game number 1. Opponent is on the play, we're on the draw, and this hand is definitely a keeper. The plan will basically be counter that 3-drop, play Flitting Gorilla, and then slam Invasion of Eldraine and hopefully attack it. That plan becomes a lot better after they've taken a mulligan, so hopefully we can get the win here and start off with a win. Invasion of Eldraine obviously gets a lot better after they mulligan. You can just really wreck hands with it. Coming up against black-red here. Opponent doesn't have a play on the 2-drop slot. Looked like they might have had some kind of trigger there, maybe a Land Cycler. So now we can just go ahead. I think we could run out Annihilate Essence here, but I think given that we're on the play, I think we just want to run out the Flitting Gorilla. If we draw a land next turn, we're going to get to Invasion. Looks like opponent's got removal for that. So here we don't want to exile the Gorilla because we want to draw land. And also we want to be able to unseal. Like next turn, if we don't draw land, for example, we're probably going to just ship the turn. And yeah, so now we're going to ship the turn here. And if they don't play a spell, we can just unseal the Necropolis. And at least we get to draw some cards that way. Opponent's probably going to transform here, I think. Yeah, unfortunate. We're not under a ton of pressure here. So I think we do want to just go ahead and unseal here. It allows us to just get our Flitting Gorilla and the Gargantua back. And we can at least cast Flitting Gorilla this turn. So we're going to have to discard. It's got 9 cards in hand. It's just brutal that we haven't hit land any of our draw steps so far this game. So the choice is between the Eyes and the Gorilla. I think we just want to run Gorilla out here. And then we're going to discard Assimilate Essence. The reason for discarding one of the essences is it's pretty rare we're going to hold both up. They're getting a lot of mana as well, and I think like they might have thought we had one. So it's just a good way of like they might now not think we have one at all, and that's going to be great for us in terms of preventing them Like, they might play something now they wouldn't have ordinarily played. Flitting Gorilla is doing work here. I think we just have to go ahead and run out Eyes of Gataxius now. Like, we need to just hit lands. And yeah, so finally hit the land drop we needed. Opponent does get to attack now, and like we'll have to sack this into the Glistening Goremonger, but I think we're so far ahead on cards that we really just needed to hit a land drop there. Go ahead and block. The other thing as well now is C double. We're slowly milling them out here. We're going to get to copy a spell. Do we want anything in our graveyard? We do not. So we're going to decline that. We have to sack our artifact here. Now I think we... Oh, no, we need to discard if we do that. I think we just want to... Super interesting here because we need to discard if we cast C double, but it'd be awesome to be able to pass the turn and counter that spell, copy that 4/3. Although the 4/3 is like not that good on this board anyway. And like we have... So I think we're just going to go ahead and invasion here. Opponent like might have a handful of removal in black-red. They also might have white cards in their hand as well. So if we put creatures on the board, we may be giving the opportunity to remove stuff. And this... Yeah, wow. Okay, so we've got a Seal from Existence and a Furnace Host Charger. Looks like opponent's playing a pretty janky... Bit of a janky deck here. Let's go ahead and throw out Inga. They're probably going to have removal for this, but now we can just... I actually think we want the Ica Drinker with Grimgrin. So we definitely want the land here. And Ica Drinker is a good one to sack to it. So, see what opponent has here. So now we actually have an interesting option. Like we could Deadly Derision the 4/3 and try and like get in and flip here. But I think it's so likely that they have removal that I actually just want to start by offering the trade. I'm pretty happy to trade Inga here. If they have a trick as well, we can like C double, but they don't. So now we can just, I think, slam Grimgrin here. And then we have we know we have Ica Drinker next turn to play and sack to it. They could have like an Alabaster Host Intercessor here, but that's not that bad for us. They're probably going to have some kind of removal spell, but we've also got Unseal and Necropolis, which we can get back with Halo Charge Scarb. So eventually we'll be able to value grind them out. And this is why like the blue-black decks with this value package of Halo Charge Scarb, Unseal and Necropolis, and then like a sack outlet or something it's really strong. So unfortunate there, Realm Breaker's Grasp is a little bit annoying. And certainly Juru and Hazaret is very tough for us to deal with. So now we could Deadly Derision them and then play the Ica Drinker. But I think we just want a Deadly Derision and then hold up the... We can hold up Assimilate Essence with that token. So it's not worth playing Ica Drinker here. We just want to try and like slowly lock this game up. We also don't have to worry about milling given we've got the C double combo. So... Because effectively the opponent will just mill out before we do. So now we can go ahead and cast Halo Charge Scarb. We just want to hold up Assimilate Essence, I think, basically for the rest of the game. So we can put something on the top. I think we're pretty happy to just get... Oh, we actually just want to get Unsealed and Necropolis here. We just want to guarantee that... We just want to guarantee, like, if they killed it this turn, we wouldn't be able to C double it. And so... Yeah, okay. So Assimilate Essence, the Skithiryx here. I haven't actually seen Skithiryx yet in this set, but pretty happy to be able to... They're one land short here. So got Invasion of Regatha. They're going to ping us for 4. And now I'm pretty confident that this game is pretty locked up here. Got Unsealed Necropolis. We can Phyrexian Gargantua this turn. We're going to flip our battle as well. And flip the battle. The only thing I'm like potentially worried about here is I don't think this deck would be playing a Furnace Rains, but they might be. I'm conscious of going a little bit too low here. I'm wondering, like, do we just play Ikadrinka and pass and hold C double to copy that spell? Any spell they hit. I think we actually do this because if we just go a little bit too low here, they can like potentially get us with Furnace Rains, and now we can like C double, copy this, and copy all their spells. So just copy the spell, copy the Halo Charge Scarb. We're also showing them the combo here. So gonna mill everything, gonna keep putting C double on top, and we get a copy of every one of their spells. And we get to just keep recurring. So opponent's seen the combo on the wall. That was a pretty tough fought win, but a sweet one in the end. We're 1-0, and I'll see you guys for game number 2. Alrighty, back again for game number 2 here. This hand's definitely a keeper with the processor into Invasion of Eldraine. Opponent's on blue as well. Assimilated Essence is such a nice one for us here. They are going to have the option of just flipping the weird, but I don't know how I like that line if I'm the opponent. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and snap counter this. It's actually possible against this color combo that you should maybe flip this, because Final Flourish doesn't kill on this board. You get the 3-3, you play around Assimilated Essence, but it's tough for opponent to know that one in that spot. And Bloated Process is going to come down for us now. We get that Mutagen Connoisseur, which has actually been pretty problematic for us because it blocks a lot of our creatures quite well. So yeah, we're hoping opponent will attack here. They get a Skittering Surveyor. Yeah, we're not going to block. And now, so our options are Invasion of Eldraine or Captive Weird and Flitting Gorilla. I think we just want... So let's see, we can get 3 points on this now. Or we can get our creatures down. Next turn they're going to play a land, they're going to play the Surveyor to get another land in their hand. So they're going to have far more card selection. I actually think we want to play this now because we want opponent to have to discard before they play this next turn and draw a land. So it just meant that they had to discard cards, whereas like they would have drawn, they would have got another land, they would have potentially had 5 cards in hand, and the more cards in hand with discard effects, the worse they become because it gives the opponent more selection about what they're going to put down. So now, opponent probably has to hold back the completed Conjurer here. We're going to get to attack and trade into it, which is great for us because we get the token to flip next turn. We're going to have Flitting Gorilla and Captive Weird. Let's go ahead and just start off by attacking, forcing that trade. Now we could play and hold the flip here. We definitely want to play the Gorilla, but I think we want to have maximum options available to us, and this also gives us the line of going flip Captive Weird, flip the Incubate token, 3 creatures attacking you. We're also going to be able to pressure opponent and pressure, like they need a flying blocker to prevent, and speaking of, they get one there, but so now I think we do want to just go this line of let's flip this turn. Vanquish the Weak is going to be good next turn. We can flip this here. Let's just go ahead and put the pressure on them and attack. You know, they can double block if they like, but now they don't have any good blocks for the 3/3s. They're going to have to double chump to prevent the flip. So we effectively trade the Flitting Gorilla here for... So now we just want to have a look and see. I think we actually do want to take the action here. Bloated Process is just super efficient, one of the best cards in our deck. So we do want to draw that, and we get Prickle Fairies down. So yeah, we traded the Flitting Gorilla for their Printing Champion, but it also allowed us to get the Prickle Fairies on the board. So opponent hasn't chosen to play anything. We could play Vanquish the Weak here, but I think that they've held something. I think we just want to run out. First of all, Dreg Recycler. They might have Artistic Refusal here. I'm just going to go ahead and run out the Processor anyway. They probably have it. Yeah, okay. Something was going to get counted regardless. We could have just passed there. But if they don't have it, like, getting the Processor on the board is a pretty big deal. It's possible we should have just vanquished the Weak to see if they had it, but even then they get to cast this still. But we were going to lose the Vanquish anyway. I'm not too worried about the card advantage, given that we can cast Transcendent Message for 5 if they manage to like get some blockers down for all our creatures. Gargantua is certainly a good one here. We could just ship the turn. I think we just want to play... We want to just bash with the team here. The reason for, like... Normally I wouldn't want to attack with Dreg Recycler because they could block here and we're just trading Dreg Recycler for Surveyor. But given we're already attacking with our 3/3s, they can make that play with the 2/2 and the 1/2. So... I'm going to go ahead and play this line out. The other thing as well is if they... Yeah, so now they're trading like that. That actually is a pretty big win for us because we're going to hit them for 8 here if they don't have anything. Wow, okay. And now like it's awkward for them because they can't play... they can't attack into the Halo Charge Scarb. Just going to go ahead and mill. Oh, and we hit the C double here. So C double just goes straight on top now. Opponent... Wow, pretty sweet green-blue deck. I don't know why they're splashing for the Marshall. But they've got a Ren. They've got their own C-double here. Wow, so opponent mills our C-double, and they get another C-double here. So that is certainly a line that makes it interesting, but opponent dies to the Prickle Fairies. They should have probably blocked with the Lifelink. We get the second win, and I'll see you for game number 3. Alrighty, back for game number 3 here, and we are on the draw again. Every game, this hand, but this hand is sweet. We've got Ica Drinker, into Assimilate Essence, into Bloated Processor. And then, you know, we'll have some flexibility depending on what we draw. So certainly, Tetsuko is a good one here, but we're not going to play the Gift of Completion. I'm much happier to play that on turn 4, and it could hold up an Assimilate Essence. They could have Assimilate Essence here, but I just want to run out Bloated Processor and say go. They don't have it, which is great. It's sort of one of those things where we could have played Eyes that turn, but wow, so Stasis Field here. That's a nice one. So now I think we just gift and we can hold up the Assimilate Essence, and then also we're going to be able to flip end step if they don't have anything. Vanquish the Weak's a good one. We've got a lot of instant speed interaction. Very happy to get to counter the Invasion of Rin there. So now I think we just want to... We don't want to show that we have the Assimilate Essence, so we're just going to go ahead and flip here. Attack with the 3/3. We're just going to try and tempo them out here with the Assimilate Essence. Getting to counter Oculus Whelp is a good one. And now we can play our cards out without, you know, fear of retribution here. We're going to attack first with the 3/3. Got a lot of Phyrexians on the board. Forest Dispersal, that's a nice one. Such a good card against the Incubate tokens there, but not much we could do. And they get to surveil away 2 lands, but we get to play Eyes. And then we can go ahead and play our Dreg Recycler, which we get a free sack of the processor here. So now I think we probably want to sandbag the land against there. I think we just want to start with the Vanquish here. See if this resolves. Or Cyber Cryptomancer. Potentially could have seen that one coming there. Bit unfortunate. But now we'll go ahead and just flip this. We're going to have to get in with the 3-3. We are going to get to Surveil on, our turn. It's unlikely they've got 2 spells, but if they do, we're going to be in a bit of trouble here. This is why Cryptomancer is so good. Just gets such a good tempo play there against us. Unlikely they have 2 spells, it is possible. So let's go ahead and sack the Bloated Processor, Surveil 1, Gargantua, fantastic for us. Go ahead and draw that one. Let's go ahead and attack first here with the 3-3. Hitting our opponent pretty well here. See if Gargantua resolves. Annihilate Essence. It's pretty likely they had one of those, but not much we can really do. The opponent's only got 1 card in hand, so we're going to go ahead and getting in here. We're going to sack the Ica Drinker. Gives us the Surveil as well and starts draining them. We're going to get to Incubate as well on our next turn. Opponent's last card, Halo Forager. Okay, let's see what they go ahead and do here. Probably going to cast either Eyes, I would imagine, or Vanquish. Probably Vanquish on the 3-3. See what they do. They could play Dispersal. So they're going to go ahead and Eyes of Gataxius here. And they get to play a Knight. So off the Xeric Strobe Knight. So we're in a bit of trouble here. We're going to get to Surveil. Captive Weird. I don't know how good Captive Weird is on this board. It is just a body and we can transform it. So I think we actually do want it here. We're going to have a pretty mana efficient turn. I think it's a Knight. So we can shuffle back Vanquish, Processor, Gargantua. Yeah, I think we just want to start off by attacking with the 3-3. They're probably going to chump. Yeah. Then we'll play Captive Weird. Play out the Ica Drinker. And then just play Oracle of Tragedy. Let's go ahead and shuffle up some of these stronger cards into our deck. And then we can just ship the turn here. We're going to be able to flip the Incubate token. Hopefully have some pressure on the opponent. They have a lot of power and toughness in the air, which is going to make this tough for us. The huge play was when they Cryptomancered the Xeric Strobe Knight. It really put them back in the game. So let's go ahead and flip this token here. We could drain them by sacking the Oracle of Tragedy. I think we may just want to save that here. I don't think we want to go ahead and do that just yet. Yeah, so I'm only going to be able to attack with the 3-3 this turn. So, wow, Vanquish off the top is really nice. So we can... let's go ahead and flip first. And see what they do in response. So they don't have anything in response there. Invasion of Eldraine. Let's go ahead and ping the Strobe Knight here. So get the Strobe Knight down. And now we can go ahead and attack with the 2 3/3s as they've got a 3/3 as well. So we're going to trade there. And they're going to trade the... So the question is, do we want to kill the Tsuzuko or the 2/2? I actually think we just want to kill Tsuzuko. It's another unblockable creature. And also, it allows him to kill us in 2 turns as opposed to 1 turn, because the Tsuzuko could kill us. Okay, C-Double's great here. Wow. So let's go ahead and ship the turn here. This opponent has to really think about how they're attacking here. Yeah, so now it's our turn. We can C-Double, or we can... Do we have anything with C-Double that just... Because we could like C-Double and Halo Forager, so... I think we just want to go ahead and... attack like this and offer the trades. See what opponent does here. Probably going to trade the 2/2, yeah. We get to Surveil. Put this in the bin. It's a pretty interesting spot here. I don't really want to invasion. I just don't think it does very much. I just want to hold up the C-Double. Opponent coming in here. So we can just copy the Halo Forager and kill it. I think we actually just want to take the 3 damage here and see what they do on the backside. Now we're just going to play C-Double to create a copy of Halo Forager. So we can pay 2. I don't think it does anything though for us. So we're going to go decline. Now on our turn, I think we just want to ship the team. They can put us to 1, but we put them to 1 now. And we have 3 bodies they have to deal with. Yeah, get the win there. That was a really close game. So pretty happy to get the win there. 3-0 so far with this blue-black deck. And I'll see you all for game number 4. Alrighty, back for game number 4. This hand is a keep for sure. Oracle of Tragedy to smooth our draw. We've got double removal spell. Unseal and Acropolis for some card advantage. So this hand's definitely a keeper. And yeah, I know the channel name is Mythic Drafting, and some people might be thinking, well, why are you drafting in gold? The reason was I was on a 2-week holiday last month and didn't have a lot of time to play. Just a quick, interesting decision here between what we're going to draw or discard between the land. We could just bin Unsealed and Acropolis here. There's a card advantage engine, but we have a couple of ways to get it back. I think we just want to put that one. We just want to guarantee we can cast our spells. And yeah, so obviously drawing the land there. Lost a little bit of audio there for a second. Yeah, but I was away for a couple of weeks, and yeah, and then I've been busy with work and haven't had a ton of time to draft. And so, yeah, the rank has just slipped, but we will be back in Mythic in June for sure, because there is a arena qualifier. So we're going to snap counter Norn's Inquisitor here, but there is an arena qualifier, and I definitely want to be playing in that one. So we're going to be trying to go for a top 250 Mythic rank. And yeah, we want to be qualifying for that, and so we'll be back up in Mythic in no time for sure. But that's why we're sort of a little bit down lower. Now I think an interesting decision here. We can vanquish the weak, the Etherblade Agent, and I think we want to do that. Like, we just want to start using our mana. I know that there's like a tempo play and getting to stop that from flipping when they pay all the mana, but yeah, we're happy to go ahead and do that there. And now similarly, like, let's just run out the Flitting Gorilla and get in. But yeah, like, it's just one of those things where sometimes you don't have enough time to play and the rank drops. It's the start of the month, but we'll be back up in no time for sure. So, Invasion of Dominaria from opponent. They're looking for some lands. They're going to hit it here. They're going to get that token. We don't have any blocks there. And I think we're actually going to go ahead and take this one out, especially since we drew Dreg Recycler. We just don't want them flipping this and getting a Sarah Angel for free. Dreg Recycler is adding a little bit more pressure to the board. We can kill the next thing they play, and then we'll have enough to convoke out a big Transcendent Message here. So it'll be interesting to see what they play out here. Blossoming Sands is interesting. Haven't seen a ton of Abzan decks, but I'm assuming opponent's deck's pretty nice, given that they've got... Wow, okay, so Phyrexian Censor here. So now I've got Halo Charge Scarb. We could Deadly Derision them. Could Deadly Derision the Censor, because the thing's pretty annoying. I think we actually do want to go ahead and do that. We might also just... I think we want to do it now, actually, as opposed to doing it any other time. Just because they could have the... I think it's Angelic Protection. The one that... Oh, we should have probably attacked with that 2/2 there, but they could have had the spell that gives you... Wow, so Traumatic Revelation. They could take down our Halo Charge Scarb here. Certainly nice. That gives +1/+1 and protection from any color or colorless, and that would have blown us right out. So, yeah, happy to kill it there. Obviously, Traumatic Revelation wrecks us a little bit. Gonna go ahead and... Actually, we're triple block here. The reason for triple blocking is if they have a removal spell, we still get them here. Certainly Angelic Intervention, the card I was worried about, is the card that is problematic for us here. So that probably should have seen through that and just double blocked. Flitting Gorilla does allow us to get back Halo Charge Scarb though, so that's good for us. The plan here will just be to eventually find C double and try and win that way. So Drinker in. Gonna go ahead and get back Deadly Derision here. We could get out the Drinker, but I think we want to save this token for the Transcendent Message. Another spell. So we probably should have got failed Unseal and Acropolis there. And now we're going to have to... I think we want to chump here. And just delay the flip. And... Oh, actually, we shouldn't have done that. Because now we're going to shuffle back the... Misplay there. We're going to shuffle back the Deadly Derision now. Even if we submit 0, it'll shuffle. Because we've already done the shuffle trigger. So, I think we just want to go back and get Halo Charge Scarb and Unseal. Yeah. Awkward that we lost our Deadly Derision there. That's definitely not good. Island's a great draw though, because maybe we should have just drawn there. But we can go ahead and transform. The question will be, do we want to chump this? I don't think we do, because we're going to have to let them get this eventually. We're just going to need to find a way to deal with it. An Elvish, wow, Elvish Vat Keeper. So opponent's deck is like pretty strong. Shuffling back the Deadly Derision there is obviously awful. And drawing C double a turn late sucks as well. We'll go ahead and ship the turn here. I just want to say, like, opponent might cast a spell, and then we can, if they cast something, yeah. Obviously, C double gets, like, way better if they had have cast anything there. We could C double the Vat Keeper and get a 3/3 and a 2/2. Does that do a whole lot for us? I wonder if we're meant to just draw 4 here and take all of this damage. The option is that we get... I think we are, because if we just like trade angels here, we're just so far behind. The thing is we can copy a spell and potentially like 3 for 1 next turn. So I think let's just go ahead and no blocks, take the damage. Obviously puts us in a pretty precarious position, but now we can go ahead and do this for 4. And we're just going to hope that we hit something that we can double spell next turn. Okay, so that's unfortunate because we can't. Drew both the Halo Charge Scarbs. That's going to be our first loss of this draft, and I'll see you all for game number 5. Alrighty, back on the play for game number 5 here. This hand is a snap keep. A little bit of a curve out here, so given we've got the 2-drop, we'll just be running it out and we won't be holding Essence. Every chance on the play that they don't have a 2, and we just want to get a curve out. We're going to hope that we draw a land next turn to play Surveyor, but if we don't, you know, we've still got Essence as another play. So Herbology Instructor's a great one for the opponent. So we could just vanquish this and start getting in. Or we could just play Skittering Surveyor. I think we just want to play the Surveyor. I don't think we need to vanquish that this turn. And I just want to make sure we have a land next turn in order to be able to hold up Derision, Essence, and Vanquish. So, because like next turn we can Derision something. Oh wow! So opponent now knows our hand. So they're going to incubate here. So we can drag recycle the Ica Drinker to ping them for 1. Don't hate that line actually. The reason for this is like we can, depending on what we draw, we just Ica Drinker now. And then we can hold Derision. We can hold Derision. Sorry, Essence and Vanquish. And like, they're probably going to flip this, but then we flip this. So, don't mind that line. If they flip this as well, we can just... So now Wary Thespian. I'm not really too worried about the Thespian here. I'm also... Yeah, I think we're just happy to let the Thespian resolve. We just want to like... If they've got some big 6 and 5 drops, we just don't want them casting them for free. So... Opponent probably they could have attacked there, but they might have like a 2-mana spell here, but yeah, we're happy to just say go now. Alrighty, and same thing here. Like we could double attack, but there's no point. So now we just go ahead and this game is going to be a bit of a grind. Opponent has to sort of like bait out our Essence. They have to cast stuff, otherwise like we can just hold Essence the whole game pretty much. So Blight Reaper Thallid, yeah, we're going to go ahead and snap Essence that one. Just too many bodies. Completed Huntmaster. It's going to resolve. It's not amazing on this board. I wonder if we're meant to just vanquish the Instructor here. I think we are. We still have Derision. I don't want them flipping this for free next turn if we like want to play Gargantua. So, I mean, I'm also just snap trading here. So they get 2 Surveils out of that the trade, and we get a land. I think the land is just better than the 2 Surveils. And let's just go ahead and vanquish this, just in case we hit land next turn. We also just want to start playing our spells out. Eyes of Cataxius. Happy to get that. And go ahead and ship again. So yeah, now like Invasion of Eldraine on this board is, like, if they don't play any, I mean, they're going to play something. Yeah, okay. So that's got Death Touch this turn. We don't want to block it. But we're going to be able to pretty comfortably block that in the next few turns. So we've got 1 card in hand. It's probably a land. But I don't want to cast either of these other spells. And so I think we're happy to just Invasion here. Just want to like get it out. Especially if it's like a Deadly Derision or something. It's good to... Wow, so yeah. Something that they didn't want to cast like this. It's great to get it out now. Because now like we've got very good blocks on our board. We've got Gargantua and 2 removal spells. So I think we're pretty heavily favoured to win this match from here. Finn the Fangbearer, not really going to be enough to do it here. See how they attack. They're not going to. We're just going to sit back. Now we're going to slam our Gargantua, and hopefully the value train will run away here. If we like hit a C double or something, we're going to get to C double Gargantua. Which is going to be nice. And they know about Deadly Derision, but they don't know about Vanquish the Weak. So we can set up some attacks on the Prickle Fairies that are, you know, not going to be good for them. Oracle of Tragedy as well. Going to get to draw and discard. We've got 2 Death Touch creatures though, which is obviously annoying. I think. So let's see, if we attack with the 3/3s here and the 4/4, like they're just going to eat trade a Death Toucher. So I think we just Oracle to start. See what we draw. And we can just slowly pick off their creatures, I think. Because the Prickle Fairies is a pretty nice one to flip on this board. It's a flyer, it pings them for 2, unless they hold all their cards. So we could like Deadly Derision, the 4/4, kill the... They just sack in response though. So we have to kill the Huntmaster first here. So let's actually go ahead and just kill Huntmaster, because anything else they're just going to sack in response to the removal. So we need to take down the Huntmaster now. Like they can trade. If they trade here for a Death Toucher for a token, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's great for us. Just because now like the Death Touchers are the much bigger problem for us. Okay, so now we could Deadly Derision here. I actually think we just want to Flitting Gorilla and just say go. We could get more aggressive, but I've got the game sort of locked up a little bit here. I don't think... Oh, Sheoldred. Okay. Here comes Sheoldred. So we're going to sack a creature in response. Sack Oracle. Let's draw a card. Yeah, so let's discard land, Island. Let's just kill Sheoldred. Goodbye. So now we're going to show them Grimgrin. And we'll show them, we're going to get Prickle Fairies. Grimgrin's going to be a 7/7 if we attack with it. Oh, Gargantua is a nice one for them. So we've got... So I think we just want to flip this, attack them with this. We want to start trading off creatures here. We're going to be able to Halo Charge Scarb. And then sack like a 2-2 to Grimgrin here. And make it a 6-6. Because we can attack with Grimgrin. Get the Death Toucher off the board. We can like attack with Grimgrin. We can untap him to make him a 6-6. Kill something, make it a 7-7. Sack something else, make it an 8-8. And then then they don't have any good blocks. So this is the line I think I like here. I'm going to go ahead and get a Deadly Derision as well. And then just say go. Because now we get to untap him. We'll get to kill the 4-4. And make that block's pretty awful. Huntmasters are... Well, surprised I didn't play all of this earlier. So let's go ahead and sack a 2-2, untap Grimgrin. It's our turn now. Let's go ahead and attack with all of these. Kill our Gargantua. They're going to have to block. And they don't have any good blocks here, given we have the Derision. Super hard for them to block effectively here. Yeah, okay. That's not going to work out for you, my friend. So we want to kill Icashade and Huntmaster here. Go ahead and block like this. Untap Grimgrin, make him an 8-8. Kill... it still does actually... It does actually... No, it doesn't. Sorry, my bad. That's 7 power and toughness. So yeah, now Grimgrin eats 2 of their creatures. They have 1. An old Grimmy Boy is untapped and alive. We're pinging them for 2 and we could get another kill here with Grimgrin. So unless they have something pretty amazing here, I think this is going to wrap this one. Incubate 2. They can double that to make it a 4-4, but if they do, like, I'm just going to kill the 4-4. Yeah, so now I think we can just get in with the squad. Kill this. Grimgrin is just eating right now. I'm going to go ahead and, as well, like, Halo Charge Scarf for a Deadly Derision. Opponent really doesn't have any, like, they can double block here, but then they just die. So they have to chunk Grimgrin and trade. Opponent's in the right on the wall, and we are 4-1. And I will see you for game number 6. Alrighty, back for game number 6 here. We are on the play with an interesting decision here. We've got some of the more powerful cards in the hand, but we've only got 1 card that we can definitely cast. Now, if we draw 2 lands, we have 2 draw cycles to hit 1. This hand becomes very good in terms of like Dreg Recycler, Deadly Derision, Invasion of Eldraine, and Grimgrin. And also like Inga is fantastic with Grimgrin. So I think the upside of this hand is enough that we're going to want to go ahead and keep it. It is risky in terms of, you know, if we just don't hit our lands or draw cards to play, we're in a bit of trouble here. But I think it's worth taking the risk. Ica Drinker is also a good one here with Wary Thespian. Land is obviously fantastic there. We'll go ahead and attack. They're probably not going to trade, especially not knowing that we have the Ica Drinker to follow up with. Yeah, so the reason why Inga is so good with Grimgrin is you can like really easily set up situations in which 3 creatures die, including Inga. I mean, this could not have gone better for us here. We just run around a land, set up Inga here. We want to bottom both of these and keep the island on the top. And now I can just go ahead and ship the turn. And particularly with like Dreg Recycler, like we can play Grimgrin, attack with like, and then the next turn untap, sacking Ica Drinker, kill something, attack with Inga. If they block it, great. If they don't, then we just sacrifice it with sacrifice it, or even just untap Grimgrin with it. So Nezumi Freewheeler, nice one from the opponent there, because it does have the effect of us not hitting land, but now we get to just slam our Grimgrin here, and we will just say go. Opponent is in a pretty tough spot now, unless they can deal with this. They've also hit, wow, 4-color brew from the opponent here. Final Flourish in the bin. They certainly could have something here. If they do, you know, good on them. But we have ways to get it back with Unseal and Necropolis, and the potential value of just untapping with Grimgrin here is absolutely enormous. We're going to be able to kill that Nezumi Freewheeler. We're going to be able to untap. Then we're going to be able to kill Inga and draw 3. Untap the Grimgrin. But I think they're probably going to have like a Deadly Derision here or something that... It looks like they're hovering over the Nezumi Freewheeler. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and do that. They can get a Gift of Completion here. And that's just... Honestly, it's pretty close to game over, I think. We're just in such a good spot now. So we want to... I think we can actually just sack Ick Drinker, double block here, and then trade with the Dreg Recycler. So this is going to achieve the same result, because they can either kill Inga or kill nothing, and 3 creatures are going to have died. So this one works out pretty well for us here. When we get to kill the Wary Thespian next turn, 3 creatures have definitely died, so we draw a bunch of cards. And now as well, I mean, Unseal and Necropolis is a great one there, but we can actually just Invasion of Eldraine their hand as well here, and we'll get to flip, which I think we want to do. Just go ahead and Invasion them, take some cards out of their hand. Hit a couple there. Grimgrin can attack to flip here. Let's kill the Thespian. I mean, this is just like, you can just do some absolutely absurd things with Grimgrin, and this is why like we kept the hand that we did. It was risky, and if we didn't draw land, it might not have been good, but even if we were a little bit late to the land party, like, we would have eventually got these powerful cards down. So now we can go ahead and just, we've got another 2/2 here that we can sack. We can play Isaac with Taxius. We've got Deadly Derision. We've got a lot of options in this game, and we're significantly up on cards at this point. It's going to be tough for them to deal with the Grim Boy. They've got Unseal, which is a good one for them to get. It's just going to be a bit slow. I mean, they're going to get back like an Etch Familiar probably. And they need to get back a card that they can probably cast this turn, although they can flip the Incubate token. Double Freewheeler in their hand, which I think like they need a land. So Burgeoning, okay. So now they can't. Okay, so Assimilate Essence is great here. Got some options. We can just Eyes of Gataxius, I think. Hold Assimilate Essence. Our other option is like play Gargantua, but then we don't get to like counter the Freewheeler, which I think is quite good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and Eyes. Hit a land drop. We can flip this one now. We just want to get in for 4 because we don't want to waste a Grimgrin trigger here. We're just punching them down as well. So now we're going to Assimilate Essence, whatever they cast. They're probably going to flip this. We can just kill it with Grimgrin and win the game that way, I think. Yeah, pretty tough draw for the opponent to beat here. We sort of had it all, drew the cards we needed to draw when we needed them. They didn't have an answer for Grimgrin, and he very quickly took over. I think the attack from the opponent was probably a mistake, though. It was tough, but they allowed us to... They might not have seen that the Grimgrin could do that, or maybe they thought it was a sorcery, but it did allow us to just really get in. And it allowed us to get in the next turn, and it also allowed us to draw 3 cards off Inga, which was huge for us. So now we can just go ahead and I think we just play out the Bloated Processor, sack it to the Grimgrin here, and then we're going to Deadly Derision this, and just guarantee the win here because we're going to be able to kill the Scornblade Berserker on the attack. Grimgrin is just, wow. This is like the first time I've had a deck that has just had Grimgrin and really drawn it a lot and been able to use it very well. And it is just absurdly powerful card. So that's win number 5, and I'll see everyone for game number 7. Alrighty, game number 7 here. We're 5-1. This hand is a little bit awkward, but I think it's going to be a keep. It's kind of like the opposite of the hand we had in the previous game. And I was going to say we don't really want to draw any more lands, but it doesn't have the high power upside, but it has like a low floor in that we're going to be able to cast spells, and I think Transcendent Message is a pretty good draw there, especially if opponent's not playing anything. Bloated Processor here. There's every chance that they could have a counterspell here. But I think the upside of them not having the counterspell... Yeah, they've got the counterspell here. Oh, Sandstalk and Moloch. That's even worse. They're going to get to draw, effectively choose a permanent card. Fairy Mastermind's a sweet one for them, but I was more worried about the counterspell because they would get to counter this and instead of the Surveyor, and the Moloch certainly would have been good for them there as well, but it was good for them, and we could have played Surveyor instead. It's potentially against the green deck, I think, given we're blue-black. Maybe we should have just played Surveyor there, but if they don't have anything that turn, we get to play Invasion of Eldraine, and then we get to put pressure on it with the Processor, so we're definitely going to want to draw our Processor here. So now it's an interesting spot with the Flitting Gorilla. Sort of, I think we just need to run out the creature instead of the Eldraine. We need to be able to like trade here. It is going to mill the Processor, but we can just put it back on top. And if we hit like a 5-drop or something, we can go ahead and pick that one up. But the other option was to just Invasion them. And then we take 5. We don't have a creature down. We're only going to play 1 creature the next turn. So we're happy to certainly trade creatures here with Unsealed and Necropolis. I think we just need to stem the bleeding at this point. Like, Fairy Mastermind's not going to kill us too quickly. Invasion of Eldraine's going to take some cards out of their hand at some point. So opponent's thinking pretty hard here. I think they were thinking about whether or not they wanted to trade. They could have a trick here, but I think we've just got to go for it. So their trade here, we're going to mill 2. We get to put something on top. Opponent's got something here. I think they probably have like a Dispersal in hand. Oh no, the Fairy Mastermind's got Flash, so they can... Jeez. So Deadly Derision hitting the bin there is unfortunate, but I think we do want Processor on top. It's just like one of our most efficient cards. And then next turn we're going to play Invasion of Eldraine, and then we can play Surveyor and the Processor. Interesting here, they're going to flip. Right, okay. So they get Invasion of Vryn. So now they basically have to play Invasion of Vryn next turn. I'm going to draw a bunch of cards. And they're going to get to flip it if we don't play anything. So now we're sort of forced into the position where we do have to play the Processor. At the very least, though, this is fine. They're going to play Invasion of Vryn because I don't think they're going to want to miss out on the free cards. It's just like so good for them. And they can attack it, but if they attack it here, we get to maximize our mana usage. And so I'm pretty happy if they do that. They chose not to. Now I think we can Eyes and then hope to draw a land and Skittering Surveyor. Grimgrin is a really nice one to draw there. So now we're just going to ship the turn. We want to hit lands because we've got like Transcendent Message, and we want to be able to like ideally hit a land there, flip this, or just play the Surveyor and then Invasion and flip this next turn. This game's going to be, I think, going to devolve into a bit of a grind. And probably like a card quality, bit of a card quality battle. So the Eyes there is great with the Omen Hawker. We do have a lot of value with like between Unseal and Grimgrin. This opponent's probably going to ship in here, I think. I don't want to flip. Oh, Halo Hopper comes down. This opponent's got a lot of bit of jank here. Getting in with some beaters. So now Assimilate Essence is super interesting here. I think that actually leads us to want to play out Surveyor. We just get another creature down. We can counter whatever they play. We're going to get an island, obviously, for Transcendent Message. And then I think we just ship the turn here. Especially if we like trade some creatures like Processor, we can potentially unseal the Necropolis. And also opponents are going to think like maybe we have Final Flourish, maybe we have Disperse. There are so many different cards we could have in this situation that it's worth repping the mana. And like Grimgrin comes down next turn, but could have gone down that turn. But then they get to flip this, and they get to make another play, and we're not necessarily going to have creatures to untap. So no attacks from opponent. Let's add turn. So we could unseal, but I don't think it's worth it. So there's the next Assimilate Essence. I think now we actually just Invasion of Eldraine them, and we can Assimilate Essence them in response to... They might have Artistic Refusal here, actually. If they do have Artistic Refusal, then it's really good for us to have cast the Invasion of Eldraine, because I'd much rather it get countered than Grimgrin. Opponent's thinking, here's the refusal. It's going to have to resolve. We don't have the counter. The counter doesn't work for it. So opponent's getting a huge amount of card advantage. They have a really sweet deck. Like the Omen Hawker decks with a bunch of Incubate tokens are just so efficient. So now I think we definitely want to counter the Mastermind. Like we just don't want them to have a way of just drawing a ton of cards. It's unfortunate that like now they can cast anything, but Mastermind was going to do a fair bit of work, I think, against us. There's a Tidal Terror. And we're going to have to go down now and get Grimgrin on the battlefield, I think. So the good thing is we get to Grimgrin and hold up Essence. And we can chump with something, and then like we can chump with a Surveyor on the Tidal Terror and then use that to untap Grimgrin. And like green blue doesn't have a ton aside from Tandem Takedown maybe here to deal with Grimgrin. Like they can bounce it. I think if opponent... So here's Fin the Fang Bearer. Thing is, do we want to counter here? I think they're probably just going to pay it. Which we're probably happy for them to do because the Death Touch on this is really annoying. So we do get to counter that there. That's great. Now we see what that follow-up play is. Halo Charge Scar from the opponent here. So they get a Glistening Dawn. They put the Glistening Dawn on top. Okay, that's pretty obvious that they're going to do that. And now they're going to get in here with the team. So opponent's getting in here with Tidal Terror. It's going to be unblockable, I think, is what they're going to do. So they haven't made it unblockable. So we can sack this here. I think opponent's potentially misplayed here. And now we get to block. I'm going to go ahead and trade off here. So we're trading off. Apologies for the dog barking in the background. And now we're going to run out of land. And I think we just want to unseal the necropolis here. We're going to unseal. We just want to draw back, like, Bloated Process is a good one. And I think we probably want Oracle of Tragedy here. Let's go ahead and play. An opponent has just conceded off the Glistening Dawn, even with the Glistening Dawn. Oh, the fact that we milled that is actually huge. I didn't realize that would be a side, but Grimgrin was just going to take over that game. Absolutely insane from us. Apologies if I was a little bit distracted in that one with the dog barking. I'll attend to that, and I will see you for the trophy game in game number 8. Alrighty, back again for game number 8. This hand's a keeper. Got no blue, but we do have two and a 3 drop, and we've got another way to use our mana as well. So definitely going to keep this one and hope we just hit an island. Swamp certainly not what we want to hear. It is a bit awkward with Transcendent Message, but as long as we, this is a very, very late game card, so I'm sort of fine with keeping it here. Going for win number 7 and the trophy. And now I think we can just pass the turn here. We don't want to give them the opportunity or the window to flip this bad boy. And I wouldn't hate if they like play land and try and flip it, and then we just vanquish the weak it. It also gives us like the decision here. So we're going to go ahead and get in. And we're just going to vanquish the weak, the Marshal, I think, in response. We don't want to trade here. So aerial boost. Bang. That's big from the opponent there. So now we have like, I think we just want to vanquish the weak while their guard is down. They could, like, of course, flip this now on this turn. Which, like, they potentially should, but they might not. It's going to be tough for us to deal with this Alabaster Host Intercessor. Sorry, Order of the Alabaster Host. And maybe we should have just held Vanquish the weak up. But, like, these blue-white decks have Cyber Cryptomancer. They have Angelic Intervention. They're already seen Aerial Boost. So, a little bit awkward for us. And, like, we will be able to deal with this eventually, you would think. Opponent's thinking, I think they should just flip it. Make it really tough on us. And, like, maybe we should have vanquished the weak, the Order of the Mirror. But again, I think that line, like, has some problems. So now they're going to get in. We really need to draw an island. We don't hit it. We're going to go ahead and activate here because we can't block. So we may as well get the points of damage in. This one's just a tough one, I think. I think opponent had a pretty sweet curve out. They've clearly got a decent blue-white deck. Yeah, Captive Weird here. Like, they're probably going to go ahead and flip Preening Champion. Yeah, we would have needed to deal with the Marshal of Zalfir. Bloated Processor. Like, we're still just pretty stuffed here because, like, we can double block here. But then this becomes a 2-2 and this becomes a 2-1. So they're both going to trade for it. And if we draw, I think we might trade here. We'll see what they're probably going to put that on the Order of the Alabaster Host, I think. They definitely should, yeah. So opponent knows what they're doing here. They are really, really piling the pressure on us. They have an awesome Blue-White Knight deck. We don't have any good blocks. So we're just pretty dead. Pretty dead here. The blue-white deck will get ya. We'll show them the Halo Charge Scarp and we'll show them the concession. And I will see everyone for the final game going for the trophy. Alrighty, back for game number 9. The final one here. We have a keeper. Drinker, Assimilate Essence. Skittering Surveyor with a Vanquish the Weak is a pretty good baseline. Just need to hit one land. And this hand is a go. And even if we don't, we've got some early plays to sort of stop us from falling too far behind. Land there's fantastic. Go ahead and get in. Hopefully they play something worth countering here. We don't have to counter though, which is the benefit. So we can Go ahead and bash here. I think we just run out the Surveyor, given that we just want to get the land. We want to maximize our mana, and we'd probably rather counter a 4-drop than a 3-drop in green-blue. And like we can vanquish the weak, probably that play this turn if they don't play anything next turn on their end step. So wouldn't have even been able to counter that one anyway. So certainly good there. C double is awesome, given we have the Daddy Halo Charge Scarb here. So we're going to be able to ship the turn, hold Assimilate Essence, and play Halo Charge Scarb, holding up C double. Which is really nice. We can also just like Halo Charge Scarb if they play a creature or a battle here, we'll counter it, Halo Charge Scarb, get back Assimilate Essence, and hopefully lock them with C double. So opponent is shipping the turn here. No, they are not. Okay, so let's Assimilate Essence that. And then let's just go ahead. We're not going to bash. Let's go ahead and Halo Charge Scarb here. Like, they could have had Assimilate Essence, but so much more likely they just wanted to flip their Incubate token. Let's go ahead and grab the Assimilate Essence, because now next turn we have C double and Essence in the same turn. No attacks, because they can obviously just eat one. So yeah, they're presented with the same issue of like green blue is tough to deal with. It's tough to deal with this combo. Let's go ahead and attack with the Scarb here. And then just say go. Like they could have Artistic Refusal here. Could have a lot of things. Army of Whispered Hopes. I think in green blue, like let's see if they. I think it's worth just countering this, given that they'll probably have so many Incubate tokens. So they've gone ahead and paid for it. That's good, and that allows it, like, clears the way here for the first one of these. We're just gonna go ahead and copy our Scarb. Mill some stuff. Put C double back on top. They're already up to 5. Hit C double again. Now we can just start putting a lot of pressure on here. Maybe you could have attacked with both these as well. But yeah, I think we just want to like hold the lock here and say go. And now like next turn we're very well set up to just C double and set the win up. I mean, they could have like something here, but I'm like concerned that they're going to bounce whatever we target with it. So let's just go ahead and vanquish the weak there. Army of Whispered Hopes here. See what they've got. Because they could like bounce the token or the Halo Charge Scarb in response to the C double, which wouldn't be good. We'd rather just like kill this, clear the way, attack with everyone, and then yeah. So they've got the Merciless Repurposing. They get a 4/4 here. We can go ahead and attack with everyone. They've got to flip this. We'll C double the token, get another C double. That'll be at 2. Let's go ahead and swing with the team. They're going to block here. So they could have a Pharaoh's Dispersal here as the. It really does blow us out if they have it. They just haven't played as though they've got it. And it's so much like if we. Because like we can hold C double. Because if we play C double and they dispersal this token in response, they've got the 4/4. It's awful for us. Whereas if we just hold C double, we're going to put them to 2. I actually think it's unlikely that they have C double there, but that they have dispersal there. But I think it's worth it in that spot to play this line. I could get punished here, but hopeful that I don't. So now I'm going to mill. Each player mills 3. That's actually really good for us because we're going to all discard here. I mean, there's going to be more, cards in the graveyard, and C double's now a double spell. So that deck's really sweet. 4 color, Sultai splashing white. Get the win. I think that was the right line, even though I didn't have the dispersal. Get the trophy with this one. This was a really sweet draft. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and be sure to subscribe for more of this type of content in the future. And leave a comment below with anything you would have done differently, anything you particularly enjoyed about the draft. And again, I'm sorry for that dog barking in the second last game there. Couldn't do much about that, but one last look at the deck. It was a sweet one. I think we navigated the draft quite well in hedging into green, and certainly both decks would have been fine, but Assimilate Essence and these common blue cards is just so good, and I love the C double and Halo Charge Scarab combo, so I was really happy with this deck, and I hope you enjoyed it as well.